It's a great pleasure to welcome you to France.
Can you tell me what it was about Nureyev's early story that got under your skin?
It was the relatively simple but very strong dramatic tale of a young boy from a very, very poor part of central Russia who discovers within himself this ferocious desire to realise themselves as a ballet dancer. It's about the artistic spirit looking for its lifeline. That's what the film is really about, I think.
You dream of a world that isn't this one.
First of all, I thought everybody knew the story. Then it was pointed out that only people of my age know the story, and that young people don't know it. And of course, the minute Ralph and I began to research it together, we discovered all sorts of new stuff. And the fact that Clara Saint turned out to be the woman who got him to the West, and that she was still alive, and that she wanted a picture which actually was truthful about what happened, that was a sort of open sesame for us.
Aren't you frightened?
What can they do? Can they arrest me?
No, but when you get back home, can they make your life difficult?
Руди! Куда направляешься?
This ferocious, burning desire to be superlative in one of the most difficult performance art forms there are, heightened by this conflict of ideologies, the Soviet world and the Western world.
We were wondering if you were allowed to speak to us.
We're told not to speak to foreigners, not to go out with them.
I just discovered early on that at school he'd been known as the White Crow. It's nothing to do with the dancing. It's to do with the fact that White Crow means somebody who's a bit odd and who always prefers to be by themselves and doesn't belong with the crowd. He was behind all the time. By the time he went to ballet school, he was roughly 3 years behind everybody else. He had to just work harder than anybody else.
They're trying to kidnap me.
Rudy,
You have to say what you want.
You know, you couldn't portray Nureyev without showing both sides of him. There was both hypersensitivity to people around him and then totally inconsiderate and just behaving so badly on occasions that people were just awestruck that anybody could be that rude. And he was capable of that because he was completely minded about dance and nothing else.
I'm a peasant from the Soviet Union. Boy born on train.
And when you met Oleg, did you think, this is my Nureyev, apart from the fact that he's not done screen acting?
Yeah, it was. I had a sense we must. I wanted to have a dancer to play Nureyev. And when I first met Oleg, he has some elements of his face which are kind of hint at Nureyev, and not precisely like Nureyev's, but he has a strong will, Oleg. But actually, what was great was that the camera really reads his face beautifully, but he has this rare gift of having interior life, which the camera reads.
Вы знали о том, что он задумал?
Нет.
И вы утверждаете, что он ни разу не заговорил с вами о побеге?
Никогда.
And I loved Ralph Fiennes' character,
Oh, sure.
Alexander Pushkin. I thought he was very zen. Can you tell me about how you collaborated
Yeah,
with
the wonderful
Ralph?
thing about Alexander Pushkin was that he was an incredibly gentle, sweet man who was the greatest teacher of ballet at the ballet school at the time. And when he lost Nureyev, it was the greatest tragedy of his life because he thought, I have lost the most talented ballet dancer I'll ever have. 2 years later, in the class, along comes Baryshnikov. And Baryshnikov today we were lucky enough to have his collaboration. And Baryshnikov talked to us about what a wonderful man Pushkin was and how the debt that both he and Nureyev owed to that ballet teacher.
Oleg, did you find it very daunting being asked to step into such a great dancer's shoes?
Перебороть все внутри себя, чтобы решиться на то, что да, это вот ты сможешь это сделать, нужно это было почувствовать внутри.
They call me White Crow.